President Trump's immigration crackdown taking a turn. Foot traffic is picking up along our southern border, and the Texas Department of Public Safety is on the lookout for human smugglers and illegal immigrants making their way across.
The southern border has become a battleground. Cartel smugglers are pushing wave after wave of illegal migrants into the United States, using highways, stash houses, and even horse trailers to sneak people past the law. But ICE and law enforcement are not backing down. They are fighting back, chase after chase, arrest after arrest. What happens when smugglers gamble with human lives by hating people under suitcases or cramming them in trailers with animals? What happens when fugitives try to outrun trained officers across highways, neighborhoods, and shopping centers? And how far will ICE go to stop them? Hi, before we move on, your single subscribe click powers the hard work that goes into every video here. Let's break it down. ICE's latest operations, how they crushed a cartel caravan, captured smugglers, and stopped an army of illegals before they could scatter across America. The story begins on a highway where officers spot a pickup truck loaded with illegal immigrants. Within seconds, suspects start running in all directions. Trained officers chase them down, one by one. A driver who wasn't even supposed to be in America is caught, while 3 passengers are arrested. Smugglers tried to outsmart ICE, but instead, they got cornered, handcuffed, and sent back. Each arrest was a reminder. ICE is not here to play games. But the situation quickly grew even more shocking. Inside one of the vehicles, officers discovered 2 migrants hidden in the most dangerous way possible, squeezed under a suitcase, crammed so tightly that their safety was at risk. The driver casually claimed he was giving them a ride from a casino, but the reality was darker. He was gambling with their lives. ICE agents acted swiftly, removing the migrants, arresting the driver, and proving once again why enforcement on the highways is critical. Not long after, another chase erupted. A black sedan tried to outrun officers, weaving dangerously through traffic, nearly hitting cars, and blasting through a shopping center parking lot. Border Patrol and Texas DPS were already on the suspect's tail. The driver swerved near restaurants and shopping areas, risking lives at every turn. But ICE coordination was airtight. Officers closed in, blocked escape routes, and brought the vehicle to a stop. Inside, more migrants were found. The driver's reckless gamble ended in handcuffs. The smuggling pipeline doesn't end on the road. Many migrants are taken to stash houses, hidden locations controlled by cartels inside American neighborhoods. One raid exposed a stash house packed with illegal immigrants. The conditions were filthy. Migrants were forced to live in crowded rooms, even hidden in underground tunnels beneath furniture. Cartel lies about the American dream ended here, with ICE agents exposing the brutal truth. Smuggling operations treat people like cargo, not humans. Moments later, a high-speed chase involving a BMW brought another dramatic confrontation. The vehicle sped down crowded highways, but trained officers used tactical maneuvers to spin it out safely. What they found shocked even the most experienced ICE veterans. Instead of escaping, he ended up face down on the pavement, surrounded by officers. The streets were safer, thanks to decisive action. In another case, a white SUV tore through traffic, blowing through red lights and medians. Drivers around him were inches from disaster. But Texas DPS and ICE trained officers pushed forward. The chase ended when a street pole stopped the vehicle cold. The smuggler tried to run on foot, dodging through oncoming cars, but he was quickly tackled and restrained. Inside his vehicle, 3 more illegal immigrants were found. The desperation of smugglers reached a new low with a horse trailer incident. Officers pulled over a Ford F-250 towing livestock. The driver insisted the trailer was filled with animals. But when officers pried it open, the truth was exposed. Nearly 20 illegal immigrants, trapped inside with horses, fighting heat and exhaustion. Women, men, and even children were stuffed inside like cargo. ICE officers risked their own safety on the side of the highway to rescue the victims and arrest the smugglers. Without intervention, this could have ended in tragedy. Not all smugglers use vehicles. Some abandon their human cargo mid-pursuit. In one case, suspects jumped out and fled across highways and into private yards, endangering families in their path. But ICE coordination with helicopters and SUVs ensured every runner was tracked. One by one, suspects were cornered and caught. 5 migrants were discovered from a single truck, crammed together in unsafe conditions. ICE operations showed that no matter how far fugitives run, trained enforcement will find them. This level of law enforcement requires advanced tools. In Las Vegas, police demonstrated a new technology called the grappler, a device that launches a heavy-duty net to stop a fleeing car by wrapping around its tire. The system was tested on carjackers, but experts argue it could be a powerful tool in stopping cartel smugglers on highways before they cause deadly accidents. Imagine how many pursuits could end peacefully and quickly if smugglers had no way to escape. These chases highlight a larger truth. The cartels see human beings as disposable. They cram migrants into trunks, under luggage, into stash houses, or next to animals in trailers. Their goal is profit, not safety, not dignity, not freedom. ICE and law enforcement stand in their way. Every highway stop, every stash house raid, every arrest protects communities across America. Without ICE, these criminals would run unchecked, flooding sanctuary cities, strengthening cartels, and risking lives on every street. Law enforcement doesn't just protect the border, they protect the nation. By stopping cartel caravans and blocking armies of illegals, ICE ensures that gangs, fugitives, and smugglers are removed before they can cause harm. This is not just border security, this is national security. Once again, ICE and law enforcement proved their strength against cartels and criminal smugglers. From high-speed chases to stash house raids, they showed the American people why strong borders and tough enforcement are non-negotiable. Smugglers will lie, cheat, and gamble with lives, but ICE is always ready to stop them. America is safer tonight because of their courage and discipline. But the fight is not over. Smugglers will try again tomorrow. Cartels will look for new routes, and ICE will be there, standing between chaos and safety.
Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem claimed earlier this month that 1.6 million immigrants without legal status have left the U.S. since January. She said the drop was driven in part by the administration's ad campaign.
A new trend is emerging among migrants who once sought that American dream. Many are now self-deporting or ending their journeys to the U.S.
If you self-deport, and if you leave now and you use that app and you work with us to take you home, you may get the chance to come back. Also, we will help you buy your plane ticket and your travel documents so that you can go today. We had the CBP Home app up that allows individuals to go in there and send them messages from the federal government that says, if you are here illegally, now go home. We're going to treat everybody the same. Regardless of who they are, the laws will apply equally, and we will have the scales of justice back in place, but also understands that this may be difficult for some families, that families will be impacted, that some that have been in our country for many, many years, and we'll be able to stand there with the perspective of a wife and a mom and a grandma and communicate that to people that we're going to work to make sure that we're not picking and choosing winners, but we're going to do this in a way that makes sense, and we're going to work with the American people to give their country back.